Alberta is a place of abundance and strength. We're blessed with oil and gas, fertile soil, the world's most beautiful scenery, extraordinary people. Albertans treasure these things, and their direction to us is clear. Work as one team to ensure this abundance leaves lasting prosperity and opportunity. And not just for us, but for our grandchildren and our grandchildren's grandchildren. It's difficult. We haven't always moved in the same direction. Our path hasn't always been clear. But if we move forward as one team with passion and purpose, there will be no expiration date on our abundance. This is the time. The decisions we make today, the directions we take, will define the Alberta of tomorrow. You asked for a beacon, a guiding light to clarify those decisions. You want to build on Alberta's strengths and abundance, and align your efforts with those of your peers and your government. More is possible in Alberta. We start by thinking about the outcomes we want. How can we achieve our economic, environmental, and social goals? How do we encourage industry innovation and work together to find more markets for what we produce? Can we be so competitive, so entrepreneurial, so focused that commodity prices don't swing the Alberta economy into alternating eras of boom and bust? We've talked for years about economic diversity, but what does it mean? It doesn't mean chasing shiny objects. We're not looking to build the next Hadron Collider. Diversity is about getting the most from our abundance, from our strengths. The foundation of our economy is to draw resources from the ground. But we shouldn't be content to just mine it or grow it, sell it, and ship it away. We need to develop value-added industries and supply chains. We need to build strong relationships not only within Alberta but beyond our borders. We need to get better at finding, developing, and adopting leading technologies. Every Alberta business should be a growth business. Who's our next agri-food giant? Who's building something revolutionary? The next SAGD. Let's find them, encourage them, help them.
I think we're at a juncture right now in this province in which we can actually make deliberate steps to look beyond energy, to diversify in industries such as financial services, logistics, creative industries, and actually make deliberate attempts to be leaders in that space.
Diversity builds wealth of all kinds. Whether oil is $40 a barrel or 140, we'll commercialize better products and get more for our exports. We'll access markets beyond the United States. We'll focus on opportunities instead of fearing a crisis. Wealth is more than money, and abundance is more than resources. Our #1 engine of growth is people, entrepreneurs. Economic development is about building a risk-taking culture in every corner of Alberta.
The future of Alberta has to embrace the same risk-taking and entrepreneurism as we were built on in the past. We're a landlocked province. The only way for us to survive is for us to have new products going to new markets, penetrating new industries with that entrepreneurial and risk-taking flair that we had for generations before us.
The world is changing. Others have become competitive in ways we couldn't imagine 10 years ago. Economic development needs to be more than GDP per capita and the narrow quarterly view. It's about the long term, about education and labor, environmental and social issues, a unified system, a new Alberta advantage.
Well, I see the economy itself as a web. It is made up of threads of social programs and education and healthcare and culture and arts, along with, of course, business and entrepreneurialism. So the role of economic development has to be an understanding that bringing in those other threads is important to attract investment, but also important to attract the kind of people that we want to have as citizens of our province, to have the communities that we see as vibrant and the places where we want our children to live and grow and play.
Alberta's economic development web doesn't just mean connecting cities. We'll work with our regions and smaller communities and find their unique strengths, their assets, their historical successes. Then turn them up a notch or 3.
As organizations, as communities, If we're not willing to work together, we're not going to realize the full potential for Alberta. The big win, as I see it, partnerships. Be it for trade corridor development, working with business, labor attraction. Partnerships and collaboration, that's the answer. If we're willing to work together with the like mind, amazing things are possible.
In this era of limited resources and results-based budgeting, economic development leaders in Alberta have to work together. We are one team, and we share the turf. Communicating, sharing wisdom and tactics, giving and taking, it's the only way forward, and it's what we all want. It's good business.
We have been good, but we can be great. And now is time to pull our strengths, our resources, to energize our innovation, to commercialize and develop our innovation, and become players on the world market. We always have had an Alberta advantage. Let's develop the next Alberta advantage. Let's develop the next economy, the next clusters of economic strength in this province. I know we can do it, but it takes all of us to do it together.
Together, we'll work on an action plan. Specific ways to transform Alberta's abundance into a new kind of wealth. Working together, focusing on a few things and doing them well is the only way to sustain our prosperity. In the meantime, ask yourself, what are we building in my community? How can I activate entrepreneurs around me? How can I make my province's economy stronger? Build the new advantage. How can I make our beacon even brighter?